prediction with you. Come see me again.
Okay, but I don't want any advice. I don't want coaching. I don't want any guidance. I just want the predictions. I want to know what's going to happen and exactly when.
Yep. This is exactly what someone said to me some years back, literally seconds into her first reading with me. I then had to take a deep breath, pull myself towards myself, and tell her that unfortunately, I am not the kind of psychic she seems to be looking for, because what she needs is a fortune teller. And a fortune teller I am certainly not. And very proudly so. Truth is, nobody can tell your fortune, because you don't have a fortune. Welcome to the Sensible Psychic Podcast. I'm your proudly psychic host, Anthon St. Martin. And brace yourself, because this episode's tap dancing elephant in the room is a very persistent one. In this episode, I am going to address once and for all a nagging question that is often avoided or conveniently skirted around. Can a psychic actually predict your future? Short answer, yes. Real psychics do predict the future, but not in the way many people think or are told to believe. Because for most people, when they hear the word prediction, what they're really imagining is fortune tellers with tarot cards and crystal balls, or even biblical prophets shouting doom and gloom from mountaintops.
Woe to the wicked! Repent, I tell you, repent!
My dear, you have the grim. The grim, my dear boy, it is an omen, the worst omen of death.
Molly, you in danger, girl.
It's a messy muddle of fateful outcomes and inevitable destinies and missed missions. It's about meeting tall, dark strangers, winning lottery numbers, or when exactly the evil mother-in-law is finally going to die. These are things authentic and ethical psychics and mediums do not involve themselves with. Jack Parsons, a renowned rocket scientist and scholar of the occult, once said,
"Remember that the tarot is a great and sacred arcanum. Its abuse is an obscenity in the inner and a folly in the outer. It is intended for quite other purposes than to determine when the tall dark man will meet the fair rich widow."
Psychic reading and fortune telling are often treated as if they're the same thing. They're not. In fact, they're fundamentally very different practices, based on two vitally different ideas about how life actually works. Fortune telling is rooted in determinism, the belief that your life is already fully scripted, that your future is carved in stone. The idea is that what will happen must happen, whether you like it or not. You are just the puppet or robot acting out the pre-written script that the gods, fate, or the universe have set for your life. And if the cards or the stars or the lines on the palm of your hand say so, then so it shall be. Period. Sorry about it. Authentic psychic channeling or reading, on the other hand, is rooted in free will. And that, dear listener, is a totally different ball game. Here's the important thing most people don't realize. You don't actually have much of a fate or a fortune to foretell, because there is no pre-packaged destiny waiting for you, like a sealed envelope labeled, "Do not open until Tuesday." Your future is not a rigid itinerary you're obligated to follow, scene by scene, minute by minute, until the final curtain drops. You are not a puppet. You are not a robot. And you are definitely not here to passively act out a dull, predictable life script. Your everyday reality, your life journey, and your true destiny are things you actively create every day. Through your beliefs, your choices, your decisions, your actions, and yes, sometimes your mistakes. The truth is, fortune-telling isn't just a myth or a harmless bit of fun. It can be genuinely harmful. I know this for a fact after having dealt with many victims of this practice over the past 2 decades. Because when a so-called psychic reader tells you with absolute certainty that something fantastic or absolutely terrible will inevitably happen to you, and that there's nothing you can do, need to do, or should do about it, they're simply not telling you the truth, and they are probably not the real deal, or very misguided. The real truth is, they're potentially interfering with your free will and your true destiny. And it is not their place to do so. I've seen this firsthand. I once worked with a client who had been told by some reader that she will never find love in her lifetime, that her heart would be broken repeatedly, and that she would remain alone forever. No further explanation, no insight or guidance, no context, just a bleak proclamation of a doomed romantic fate. Thing is, the client, she believed it. And because she took it so seriously, she unconsciously sabotaged every relationship opportunity that came her way. She expected deceit and abandonment. She anticipated loss. She fulfilled the prophecy herself, not because it was destined, but because she let it take root in her heart and mind. That's the real danger of frivolous fortune-telling. And there's no need to just take my word for it, because science has actually proven this. You've probably heard of the placebo effect, where a fake treatment can lead to real healing simply because the patient expects it to work. And did you know that the placebo effect also has an evil twin? It is known as the nocebo effect. The nocebo effect is when a person experiences negative symptoms or worsening of conditions because they expect a treatment or situation to cause harm, even if the treatment is a placebo, or the expectation is unfounded. While positive expectations can promote healing, the nocebo effect shows that negative expectations can cause real harm. Psychological and medical research has demonstrated that grim predictions can trigger chronic stress responses and behavioral changes that actively help bring the feared outcome into being. Studies show, for example, that when people accept a bleak medical prognosis as fixed truth, such as being told they have only 6 months to live, they often unconsciously adjust their mindset and behavior to match that prediction, sometimes leading to a rapid physical decline. Most of us have heard at least one story of someone being given a specific time frame to get their affairs in order, only to pass away within that exact period of time. Sometimes eerily close or exactly on the predicted date. In these cases, you cannot help but wonder, what might have happened had that person not be given such a specific and limiting time frame? A fortune teller predicting an inevitable outcome that is meant to happen at a specific time and place is no different. A channeled psychic or mediumship reading works very differently. A genuine reading doesn't deal in fixed outcomes and fated certainties. It also does not dish out easy solutions and quick fixes. It deals in probabilities, potentials, and pathways. Think of it like this. A psychic reading is a snapshot of where you've been, where you are now, and where you're most likely headed if you stay on your current path. Your past choices create patterns and probabilities. Your present mindset shapes the current direction. Your conscious thoughts and energy manifest outcomes, and your future unfolds based on your choices, decisions, and points of focus. When I predict the future in a reading, and yes, I absolutely do, it's very seldom a single unavoidable outcome. It's usually a range of likely scenarios based on your current trajectory. Change your choices and approach, and your future probabilities shift. True psychic prediction is inspiring, uplifting, and empowering. It is not fatalistic or an easy quick fix. Any prediction you are given should always include some level of agency or personal responsibility. Our true destiny is not handed to us on a silver platter. In the best-case scenario, a reading confirms that you are already on the right path. It serves to reassure you, validate you, affirms the direction you're heading. And in a worst-case scenario, when a reading reveals a potentially undesirable outcome, it is never as simple as that. And it certainly does not end there. When a reputable psychic or medium reads for you, that kind of information will always be paired with some guidance and insight. Authentic psychics offer divine guidance and spiritual insight about how to change course, reduce the probability, or navigate the situation more wisely. That's the vital part fortune-telling typically does not deal with. Now, having said all that, it's also important to be clear about something else. While we are the sole creators of our lived reality and designers of our destiny as spiritual beings on a human journey, we are not entirely in complete control of everything that happens in our lives. There are indeed moments when life throws us a curveball we didn't choose, or dumps a ton of bricks on us we did not ask for or anticipate. Events and issues we didn't invite sometimes rear their ugly heads. Experiences and outcomes that arrive without our consent sometimes turn our lives upside down. Sometimes really bad things happen to really good people. But why? If we are the creators of our own life story and masters of our own destiny, why do these unwelcome and unwanted things show up in our lives? In my experience, these life-changing events and experiences tend to fall into three categories of lived experience. First, there's spiritual life design. Over 20 years of channeling for people from all walks of life around the world, it's become clear to me that we don't arrive here as blank slates. There appears to be a kind of a preliminary life blueprint or soul plan that is more like a travel itinerary or mission briefing rather than a set script. Certain milestones, certain challenges, certain contrasting experiences that add depth and dimension to our lives are sometimes built into this adventurous travel plan or earthly bootcamp program, if you prefer. Why? Because without loss, we wouldn't recognize love. Without disappointment, success would feel meaningless. Without dark winters, we wouldn't cherish bright summers. It's all part of the ride. Sometimes what feels like misfortune is actually the catalyst for growth, purpose, and transformation. In order to complete our amazing life journey successfully, it is vital that we turn each and every dark tear into a pearl of wisdom and find the blessing in every curse. The next category of lived experience we have limited control over is the co-created reality of the collective. Your life journey or lived experience does not unfold in isolation. Other people's wishes, desires, goals, and choices affect you, for better or worse. Your partner, your friends, your family's free will choices will inevitably affect your life. Your employer's decisions will affect your life. The actions of the government, the majority elected, will affect your life. The collective consciousness and co-created reality is not yours to control or determine alone. Just think about road rage and noisy neighbors with bad attitudes. What other people and the collective choose to do will impact your life in various ways. A real psychic reading will never pretend you control everything. Instead, it focuses on what you can control: your responses, your boundaries, your decisions, and how you move forward. No matter what the collective decides to do, you still have individual choices in every moment of every day, because you are a powerful creator of your own destiny. And finally, there's divine intervention. There are those rare moments when a higher power steps in decisively to protect you from yourself or others, or to redirect you, or to guide you back onto the path you have drifted away from. These interventions always serve a higher purpose and your highest good. It takes you to the next level, or launches a new chapter, or deepens your spiritual wisdom. They happen to ensure you fulfill the blueprint of your soul plan to the best of your ability. These moments are not reprimands or punishments. They are also not curses or just bad luck. And these major life-altering events are almost never predictable in advance, because then they wouldn't be interventions. Authentic psychics and mediums seldom see these destiny interventions before they show up, because it is a matter between you and your higher self, your God, or your higher power, and way above our pay grade. When we do perceive them as a prediction, there is always a clear reason and purpose. Often it is to forewarn you about something you can change before it happens, or in exceptional cases, to explain why it is necessary for something to happen. For example, if my client, who was told she would never find love in her lifetime, were given an authentic prediction by a real psychic, she would also have been told why this is the case and what purpose it serves. Simply put, she would have still left that reading feeling informed and empowered, not deflated or depressed. Whenever such inevitable life events or outcomes are predicted on the rare occasion, whether good, bad, or really ugly, a genuine psychic or medium will always help you to understand them, to make better sense of it all, to integrate these shifts or disruptions in your life trajectory with grace and a sense of personal agency, with just one singular purpose: for you to fulfill your true destiny and live your best life. And that's the key distinction. A genuine psychic reading is different from fateful fortune-telling, because it is about helping you live your life more consciously and wholeheartedly. It's about clarity instead of fear. It is about empowerment instead of dependency or helplessness. Wisdom instead of superstition. So, can a psychic predict your future? Yes, but not as doom, gloom, or sugar-coated quick fixes and silver-platter solutions. Psychic predictions without spiritual guidance and destiny coaching is futile fortune-telling at best, and fatalistic fear-mongering at worst. Authentic psychic prediction is all about free will and personal power, not fate and fortune. And it reveals only the next few steps, not the entire staircase. So, here is my advice. If anyone ever tries to reduce your many-splendored, divinely inspired life to a single, unavoidable outcome or a predetermined script, do yourself a favor. Lock your door, call security, hide your children, your cats, and your dogs, and most importantly, freeze your credit cards. And if all else fails, just run, Forrest. Run. And there you have it. Now you know everything. Until next time, dear seeker, believer, or secret skeptical stalker, stay sensible, stay centered, and stay proudly psychic.